Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. We are back for yet another homemade MRE video, and this one is big. This is going to be epic. Look, y'all made me do this. To be fair, I asked for it. I asked for your recommendations, and you guys really delivered. And probably the most consistent thing that I've been seeing is, well, there's actually two. One is y'all want me to do Walmart, and another is you want me to do a 24-hour MRE. And I've done both of those in one video. This one's gonna be a little bit longer, so stick with me. Also, at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you a clip of everything that's in here, and we're gonna talk about something that y'all keep asking about when it comes to the nutritional information of what's in here. Now, I did not calculate it beforehand. I'm gonna do it after everything is done because I wanna see how well I did at getting enough calories, protein, what have you, to get through the day, and then see if maybe there's some things that we need to change in the future for doing these things. So I've got everything in this little haversack I found in the bin store. I paid like $4 for this thing. It's a pretty nice canvas bag, and I was thinking about maybe doing an oil skin on this. Y'all let me know what you think about that. Should I finish this with an oil skin, make it waterproof, and something that I can use for more of this kind of stuff? Right now I'm gonna dig this thing out and show you what I ended up with. Here we have the Dad Budget Adventures Homemade MRE Menu WM1/24. That's my Walmart one-person 24-hour menu. So as always, we're going to start diving into this thing in just a minute. But first I want to cover the rules for this particular MRE. Because this isn't one of our standard single meal MREs, the rules are a little bit different. Of course, I wanted to get everything from the same source. Some of the rules, though, are going to be the same. The first being this. Rule number one, everything has to be able to be eaten straight out of the package. Nothing that has to be reconstituted, and of course the only exception are things like drink mixes or coffee pouches. Rule number two, everything has to have at least a 1-year shelf life from the date it was purchased. That is 100% about freshness, because if I store this thing away, it takes me a year to get around to it. I don't want things that are already out of date by the time I find them. Now, lastly, the thing that's going to change the most in this is the menu. Let's talk about that for a second. It's a 24-hour menu, which means that it's going to have to be meals for the entire day. Now, technically, if it was 24 hours, it would be breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast to cover a full 24-hour spectrum. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't know. The menu for this has to include breakfast, lunch, dinner, and some kind of a walking around snack for somewhere between lunch and dinner. And of course, it will need the beverages to go with each of these meals. Now, breakfast is usually a little bit simpler. It's usually a lighter meal for most people. That's the approach that I took with this. Lunch will be a little heavier. Entree, side, dessert, drink, all that kind of stuff. Dinner, of course, also entree, side, dessert, drink. All the things that we would usually have in something like this. But of course, in this one, there will only be a single walking around snack. So I'm going to break this into segments because it is 3 meals. I'm not going to sit here and try to eat it all at one time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do breakfast first. We'll come back later for lunch. And then what will probably end up being tomorrow, I will do the dinner selection because I don't really have a 24-hour period where I can just live out of this bag. If you see me change clothes at some point in this video, I'm not scamming you. It's just a different day. All right, so let's open this bag. Let's see what's in here for breakfast this morning. So the first thing I've got is our beverage for breakfast this morning. We're going with some coffee. I have a sachet of Taster's Choice. Now, the great thing about these is that they can be bought in bulk. I can get 6, 8, 12, depending on what size package I want to get. And a lot of times these things will come with sugar and creamer already in them. That's not the case with this. This particular Walmart did not have any of the 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 coffees. So this is just straight Taster's Choice. And we'll just mix this up according to my taste. To go with our coffee for breakfast this morning, I have Pop-Tarts. Look, say what you will about this. Even the US military packs toaster pastries in their military MREs. There is nothing out of character for this. The fact that it's in a Mylar sealed bag makes it even better. And who doesn't love Pop-Tarts for breakfast? No, there's no protein in it. Yeah, it falls a little bit short with that, but this is going to get us through the morning. To round this out a little bit and get us a little bit more vitamins and nutrients, I'm also adding this Noka Superfood Smoothie. This is a pineapple and strawberry smoothie that'll give us an extra little boost of sugar and vitamins and those kind of things that we need. The things that we're not going to get from that Pop-Tart. Even though Pop-Tarts have fruit filling, there's not a whole lot of nutrition in there. Let's get this coffee made and then let's try these other items and see how my choices for breakfast are going to work out. Look, you're always going to need some coffee for that morning drink, some caffeine to get things going. This smells really good. It's a very rich smelling coffee. I think this is a medium roast that I got. I'm going to dump it in the Arctic mug. I've already got some hot water in here. Let's get this show on the road. Say what you want about Taster's Choice freeze-dried coffee. It's better than the military stuff. So. and it's better than what you get in a lot of places. Coffee is one of the most inconsistent things in the world out there. That's why I like what I like, and I try not to go too far outside of that, but for occasions like this, I'll try new things. I remember my dad drinking this a lot when I was a kid. Then again, back then, that's all there was outside of just regular coffee. All right, so let's give this a try. Oh, that's really not bad. I mean, as far as instant coffee goes, you could do a lot worse than that. I know Luke over at Outdoor Gear Review calls it Taster's Nasty all the time, but I mean, honestly, it's not bad. I don't even have any creamer in this. Usually I put a little creamer in my coffee. This is really good. All right, who knew? Next, we're gonna tear open our Pop-Tart toaster pastry. I forgot which kind I got. Y'all saw it in the little video overlay there, so you already know what I'm fixing to eat, but I can't remember what I bought. I think it was strawberry. Still in decent shape, got a little broken edge there. These are always better if you can heat them up. They're much better if you can heat them up and put a little butter on them. But there have been a number of times in my life when I've eaten Pop-Tarts straight out of the package. I think that's part of what makes them perfect for a meal ready to eat, is that it is ready just as it is, and you can always make it better by doing other things. All right, just like I remember. Let's try out this Noka Superfood Smoothie. Have not tried these before. Basically, you just take the top off, squeeze it right into your mouth. You don't even have to put it into anything else. So the first hit of this was a little weird because I still had the taste of the Pop-Tart in my mouth. So it came across really not very sweet, but it is sweet, but it's not sickeningly sweet. It's not something where halfway through this you're going to be stopping going, oh, I can't do any more of this. It's not bad. It's a good flavor, good balance of strawberry and pineapple. And I think this is a good addition, no matter what other dishes you have when it comes to breakfast. I think something like this is a good addition to that to get you all those extra vitamins and stuff that you might need in the morning. That's it for breakfast. I will see you guys back here for lunch. We've officially made it to lunchtime. Breakfast stayed with me pretty well, but I'm running a little late getting lunch and I am starting to really get hungry. So I'm ready to dive into this and see what we're having for lunch out of our 24-hour Walmart MRE. Let's start with the first item, which is going to be our entree. For the entree, I picked up this Dinty Moore beef stew that comes in a serving bowl. It's not the canned version, so it's a little easier to serve and prepare. This is a good hearty portion of food. Got meat, potatoes, carrots, all that kind of stuff in it. So this is going to be something that, unlike for breakfast, I'm going to have some protein in it, something to stick with me for a little while. I'm also thinking I'm going to have to move back under the cover because it's threatening to rain again. Let's see what we can get through. Now, of course, Dinty Moore is a Hormel product, so it's very similar to the meal that I had in my Family Dollar MRE. Walmart had those as well, but I wanted to go with something a little bit different, and of course, since this is actually the Dinty Moore product, I wanted to go with that. By the way, I am so excited about the entree that I've got for dinner tonight. So for right now, you're watching the video going, I don't know if I want to stick around for that. Stick around for it. You're going to want to see it. As my side for lunch, I got these Wisps baked cheese snacks. Basically, these are cheese that's melted down and baked until it's dried into a cracker, so it's just like straight cheese. Who doesn't love cheese? I'm a huge fan of these things. Cheese goes good with anything. For our beverage with lunch, we have the Crystal Light lemon iced tea. This is another one of those instant drink pouches that all you got to do is add it into a bottle of water, shake it up a little bit, and you've got a beverage. I'm not a huge fan of these. I know a lot of people really like them. I'll drink them in a pinch, or if there's a situation where it's just easier to do it this way, but it's not something that I'll go for. I'm not going out to the store going, oh, I've got to have some of that. But for cases like this is a perfect addition. And for dessert with lunch, this is actually the dessert for lunch and dinner. I got these Bear Baked Crunchy Bananas. I haven't tried these banana chips. I've had the apple chips. I really like them from this company. Now, these are a little different from the freeze-dried bananas that I've had before. These are baked, so it'll be a different texture, different taste. So I'm looking forward to trying those out. There's enough in here, plus it has a resealable bag. I can eat some of this for dessert with lunch and then turn around and still have them for dinner, and they'll still be fresh. I don't have to worry about them dumping everywhere because of the resealable bag. I want to get my entree started so that it can be cooking, because it's going to take a few minutes, and then we'll get the drink mixed up, and then we'll try some of these other items that are in the bag. I'm gonna try something a little different this time. I'm gonna add a little bit of a water bath with my entree. I'm gonna still try cooking the entree in the package that it came in, but I'm gonna add a water bath in here because I wanna see if it helps to maybe distribute the heat a little more evenly by doing it this way. Let's go ahead and add the water to our flameless ration heater. Here it goes. Get everything in and closed up. All right, so while that cooks away, let's get our beverage going. So leave me a comment and let me know if you like these Crystal Light drinks and what your favorite flavor is. I think I've had the tea before and I liked it okay, but let me know what's your favorite. This stuff usually mixes up really well. This water's not cold, so it should mix a lot easier. Right now in the area where I work, we have a boil water order in place. The snow and everything from last week caused some real problems with our infrastructure, but at work, we've been living off bottled water, and finding water that's already chilled is a hard thing to do. That's not bad. I don't hate it, but I'm not a big fan of artificial sweeteners. There are some that I can tolerate more than others. If the sweetener causes a weird aftertaste, then I don't care for it at all, but this isn't too bad. And as I've said before, if you're sourcing water, say you're using water purification tablets, or if you're filtering things that have come out of a lake and maybe the water tastes a little funky, having something like that to mix in with it is a good way to go. All right, so our side for this meal is our Wisps cheddar cheese snacks. Give these a try. These look a little busted up. It's like they've been through it, or maybe, they're just really small. Look how tiny these things are. I've had Wisps before, and they're usually about 3 times that size. So that's a little strange if they're all so small. I'm not gonna throw it away. I love these things. That very concentrated cheese flavor that you end up with when everything is baked into a chip, it's really good. I have a friend that really likes these, but he has high blood pressure, and he was talking about the high sodium level in these things. Fortunately, I don't have high blood pressure, so sorry, buddy, but I love these things. Now, the downside to the Wisps snacks is that they do make you very thirsty. They are very thirst provoking. Probably not a great choice if you're in a position where you have a limited water supply. If your water's good, or if you have one of these, they really hit the spot. All right, so here we are. Our entree is ready. I think using the water bath that I did for that it's a much better idea for cooking things like this that you want to leave in the original container. It definitely seemed to cook not only more thoroughly, but faster. It's heating up that water instead of just heating up the air around it. Here we have our Dinty Moore beef stew. Not a very good view of that. It looks like your standard Dinty Moore beef stew. Chunks of meat, chunks of potatoes, a lot of sauce. I did have a viewer pointed out something. I was commenting on the Hormel chicken Alfredo that it was very saucy, and he made a great point. He said that they add a lot of water to those to get it up to weight, and that's what makes it so saucy. It's too bad they can't just add more food to get it up to weight, but well, let's give this a try. Yep, that water bath worked all right. Look, if you've never had Dinty Moore beef stew in your entire life, go get you some and try it. I'm not saying it's a religious experience, but this stuff is so good. Over the decades, they have mastered the art of this flavor. Doesn't have a funky canned taste or packaged taste like a lot of canned meat products do. I'm not gonna say it tastes like homemade, but this is really good stuff. The chunks of meat in here have good bite. There's a lot in there, didn't skimp on it. Look, if you're a big guy, you could probably eat 2 of these. Consider that when you're packing your MRE. But for a lot of folks, this is gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna finish this off, we'll come back, try our dessert, and then we'll wrap up lunch, and then in a little while, we're gonna come back for dinner. All right, so I finished off the beef stew in a way that would have been embarrassing if it were on camera. When I tell y'all I was hungry, I was hungry. So leave me a comment below and tell me, are you a fan of Dinty Moore beef stew? And if you're not, why are you a monster? So the last thing we have for lunch is our dessert, that being our Bear Baked Crunchy Banana Chips. I'm anxious to try these. I like bananas. I like the freeze-dried bananas. These look in the container almost like a potato chip. They're darker than your typical freeze-dried bananas or even your dehydrated bananas. But let's give that a try. There's not a strong banana smell, but banana is a scent that tends to be kind of overwhelming at times. That's not what I'm getting here. Ooh. I like that texture. They're extremely crunchy, but they also don't have a really strong banana flavor. After you eat a few, you get that banana flavor. It starts to hit your taste buds, but individually, they're not very strong. It's actually good. A lot of people like the flavor of bananas. They just find them to be a little overwhelming. And if you're like that, try these. These would be really good if you were to make up a trail mix. Throw those in there. Of course, one of the best things about this is the ability to seal that off. Close that up, back in the bag, and save it for later. And with that being said, I will see you later. We'll be back in a little while to check out our walking around snack. And then after that, it'll be dinner time. Okay, so let's check out this walking around snack. Lunch was a little while ago. Getting back to work, I started to get that little rumble in my stomach that just let me know I just need a little something extra that will sustain me until dinner time. So let's see what we've got in here. And a staple in any good homemade MRE is, of course, beef jerky. And this is no exception. I got this Jack Link's sweet and hot beef jerky. This is a flavor I have not tried, but this is it's a 2.86 ounce bag, and it says made with 100% beef, 9 grams of protein per serving. And there's a little over 2 servings in here. Now, something to remember with MREs, in particular homemade MREs, is you don't have to eat everything at a certain time. You don't have to eat all of your breakfast items at breakfast. If you're not hungry enough, don't do that. Save some for later. If you can't eat your entire lunch, eat as much as you can, but save the parts that you want to save for later. And with something like this, you don't have to eat the entirety of this walking around snack in one session. This can be something like if after breakfast you're getting a little peckish before lunch. Break this out, get you a couple of pieces of it. Eat some between lunch and dinner. Save some for after dinner, for a midnight snack. And remember, this is a 24-hour MRE. This has got to get us through until tomorrow. How many times have you been at camp or you're stuck at work and it's late and you're wishing you had something to eat to just get you through a little while longer? So something like this, you can keep this around and just nibble on it when you need it. Y'all, wow, that's delicious. That meat is so tender, it does not feel like it's going to pull your teeth out like some jerky does. The flavor is great. A little bit of heat at the back of your throat. If you're hitting a mid-afternoon slump, this is going to get you through it. So in this MRE, I also put in another coffee that was intended to go with this, but I'm not going to make that right now. But it is in there. I can make another cup of coffee. Once again, that afternoon slump, maybe needing a little bit of energy, a little caffeine burst. I've got that in there. I'll probably have that with dinner. But once again, you don't have to do anything on a schedule with these things. Pack it the way you want to pack it with the things you want in it, and then use them when you want to use them. That's enough of me babbling about jerky. See you guys in a couple more hours. Come back around for dinner. Look, if you've stuck around this long, give this video a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can be made aware of all upcoming videos. This channel has grown so much. At the recording of this video, we are about to hit 5,000 subscribers. For a channel that sat at 3,500 for a long time, and I've had almost 1,500 subscribers in the last few weeks, I'm ecstatic. So glad to have you guys here. All of you new faces that are here, love having you here. And those of you that have stuck with me through the last few years, I'm so glad you keep coming back. I'll see you guys soon for dinner. All right, everybody, welcome back. It's dinner time, finally. I am so excited about this. Maybe that's overstating it a little bit, getting that excited about MRE food, but I found a couple of things so interesting for this meal that I think you guys are gonna get a huge kick out of this. Look, there's hundreds of homemade MRE videos out there. The majority of them are a tuna pouch and a protein bar. So when I tell you I've found something unique and really cool, I'm not exaggerating. I think you're gonna like this. I'm gonna go a little backwards this time. I'm gonna start with the smaller items and we're gonna work our way up to the entree because some of the items you've already seen. For example, our beverage is another serving of the Crystal Light lemon tea, and we've also got an extra shot of the Taster's Choice coffee. So we're gonna make those up here in a minute, and these are gonna go with the dinner. Of course, for dessert, we have our Bear Baked banana chips. At some point in the middle of the day, I found myself craving these things, so they're really, really good. Of course, another repeat offender is we have another side of the Wisp Baked Cheese Snacks, but this is where it starts to get interesting. I came across these quite by accident. It's not even anything that's on the regular menu for my MREs, but when I saw it, I knew I had to get this. And that is these Munchers Kosher Dill Pickles. It's a little retort pouch with some pickles in juice. And look, if you're a fan of pickle juice, there you go. If you're doing a lot of hot activity and you're working up a sweat and you need something to help put some of those electrolytes and salt back into your diet, there you go. But this was so cool. It's several small kosher dill pickles in here, and it's gonna bring an extra little zing to dinner tonight. And I think as far as just having like a little, maybe an appetizer or something like that to go along with your dinner, this is gonna be great. Here's the thing that got me the most excited about this. When I saw this item, I knew I had to have it to add to this pack, and depending on how it tastes, this may be something that I'm gonna go back for more because they have other flavors. And that is this Presti plate ready ravioli, and I got the portobello flavor. Y'all thought my meal from Sprouts was bougie? Check that out. I cannot wait to try this. This is prepackaged, shelf-stable ravioli in a sauce, and I cannot wait to try this. With that being said, let's get this thing in the barrel cook. Let's get this heating up, try a couple other things real quick, and we're gonna see if this is worth the hype. All right, let's see what we've got here in this package. It smells really good. It's got a good mushroom scent to it. We get everything we can get out of here. Squeeze it down because I can feel there's still some mushrooms left in the bottom. There we go. Let's get this rolling. All right. We're working on that. Let's get our drinks going. Grab a drink real quick. So we've already had these, the Wisp cheddar snacks. I think these are going to be perfect with the ravioli. It's going to be a great little flavor accent. These things are absolutely addictive. If you're a fan of cheese, that's the stuff. But now here's the thing that I've been dying to try. Now this pouch has 3 servings in it. Once again, you don't have to eat everything in one sitting or even in the same day. We're gonna give this a try. Now this one also has a resealable package. So if you don't eat everything that's in here, you don't have to throw it away. It's not gonna go to waste. You can just zip it up, take it with you, eat it later. So let's get in here and get one of these kosher dill pickles and give them a try. This is our dinner appetizer. So let's give this a shot. They have a fair amount of crunch. They're not super crunchy, but with this kind of packaging, you wouldn't expect that they would be. They have a good flavor. Kosher dills are not my favorite. I've had a couple that I just really didn't like, and I was wishing that they had some different flavors of these pickles, but this is what they had at my Walmart. But these are really good. Let's get another one. If you like kosher dills, you'll love these. Pickles are a very subjective thing. Some people love them, some people hate them. Some people are very particular about sweet pickles or dill pickles, but these are good. I'm so glad I accidentally stumbled across those because it's a unique addition to the MRE. It's something you're typically not going to find. But here's another thing to think about. If you are one of those tuna pack MRE guys, you can chop those up and add them in with your tuna, or you can just eat them along with the tuna and get the same effect. But not many things go better with tuna than pickles. That barrel cook is just steaming away. You know, the one downside to that cook system is that it does take a little while. I could put that ravioli in a pan, throw it over a cook stove, and it would probably be ready in a couple of minutes. With the barrel cook, it can take 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how much food is in it and how heavy that food is. I'm so ready to get into that ravioli. But these help. So one of the things that commenters have been continuing to ask about is nutritional content. So I started adding up the nutritional values to things. So the main things that people were asking about, and the things that I calculated in here, so let's throw those up here, is calorie count, protein content, and the sodium. So you see where the problem comes in here. So if you have high blood pressure, you're gonna wanna look for other products. You're gonna wanna look for options with a lot less sodium. Someday soon, I may go and try to find lower sodium products to create an MRE, and if that sounds like something you're interested in, leave me a comment and tell me about it. I am not a dietitian. I'm not any kind of a food expert. I'm just a guy that likes to eat. So none of this is intended to be medical advice. None of it is intended to imply that this is a way of sustaining yourself. All I'm presenting is options on how to think about other things to take in your MREs other than the stuff that you've been seeing for years now. If you're gonna build it yourself, build it to your liking, build it to your specs, build it to your dietary restrictions. But that's the advantage of doing your own. And with that being said, I'm gonna go get this ravioli and give this a try. All right, so I don't know if you can hear it behind me, but I took the stainless steel bowl out of the barrel cook because it was still cooking away. And this is more than sufficiently hot to try it. And if I stand around thinking about this much longer, I'm just gonna start getting mad. Let's try this Presti Portobello ravioli. They're small, like mini raviolis. There's also chunks of actual mushroom in here. So it's not just like a flavor thing that, you know, they're saying it's mushroom flavored. Let's give this a try. Okay. If you like portobello mushrooms, you need to give this a try. It's a different flavor. As far as Italian food, is your canned stuff like Chef Boyardee. It's always in a tomato-based sauce. This is a very different palate. Of course, as always, the pasta is overcooked. When you're eating shelf-stable pasta, you're gonna have to manage expectations. You're not gonna get perfect al dente pasta. What you're gonna get is pasta that's bordering on being completely mush. But I can tolerate this under the circumstances. This is something I've got in my disaster relief pack. Once again, this is gonna be gourmet food. Now here's another little hack for this menu. You know, we've got these with us. If you need a little bit of extra something with that ravioli, we've got real cheese here. We're gonna bust some of this up. We're gonna eat some. Wisp also makes a Parmesan cheese chip, which would be perfect for this, but I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with this cheddar cheese. Let's give this a try. Yeah, if you don't have like a little sachet of Parmesan cheese from the pizza joint or something like that to throw in your MRE, this is a good way to go. A lot of salt. If you're asking, I'll definitely be buying some more of those to put in my MREs. So let's finish dinner with some of these banana chips. Wash it all down with a little bit of coffee. That's not a bad combination. I like that. Y'all, I'm super happy with the way this Walmart 24-hour homemade MRE turned out. There was nothing in this kit that I wouldn't buy again. Everything in here met my expectations. Some things even went beyond my expectations. And that's always a good thing. Throughout this adventure, I've gotten to try things I've never had before, and that's part of what makes this even more fun. Getting all these responses from you guys, all the comments and asking me to do things and saying, go here and go there, try this, try that. It really makes me feel like folks are getting something out of this. These meals are not a perfect solution for everyone or every situation. They work for me. And more than anything, more than giving you a menu to go look for, what I hope you're taking from this is some ideas of thinking outside the box. Go out there, find the things that you like, put them in a package, store it away, make your own homemade MRE. As long as you guys want me to, I will keep doing these things. But for now, I'm fat and happy, gonna wrap this one up. And until the next one, prepare for the world that you live in, not the one you wish existed. We'll see you around.